Emma Paige, welcome to Seeing Other People.
Thank you so much.
This is a very long time coming, partially because I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Couldn't agree more, especially when I saw the 914 pop up on my phone. I was like, Westchester girls?
When you DM'd me your number, I was like, oh my God, I need to know everything.
I know. I feel like kindred spirits.
Yep.
I lived in LA for so long that sometimes I forget that it's normal to see a 914.
That's
like when
funny.
I see it now, I'm like, oh, that's nearby.
Yep.
Like, oh, this is the pipeline for everyone here. But when I saw it in LA, I was like, oh my God, be my best friend.
Yep. And not only 914, but you're a 1994 914.
Sure am.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
We really know nothing about each other. So
Nothing.
Going to find out a lot.
We know nothing about each other, but I know that it's crazy that it took us this long to find each other.
Yes, agreed.
But
yes.
we're here now.
I know.
I'm so excited.
I also used to live in this neighborhood. Like when I was going down the
Love.
street, I was like, oh, what a
Where do you
walk
live now?
down memory lane. Fide.
Nice.
Yes. So other end of the earth.
Yep.
We're truly at the tip of the earth.
Yeah. We got the 4-5 though. Makes it easy.
Yes. I just moved in with my boyfriend.
Exciting.
Applause, applause, applause. This is my first time living with a man boy on paper.
Do you call him a boy or a man?
It depends. Depends on what we're talking about. I will call him a man right now. He's a man. He's a man. He is a man.
I struggle with that because I'm like, I'm a girl. I'm not a woman, and I'm not married to a man. Like, I'm dating a boy.
But the second he calls me a girl, I'm like, I'm a woman.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm a girl.
No, he's a man. I'll give it to him. I've dated boys that are 48 years old, and he is 32, and he's more of a man than they are. So
Okay, I
will give it to him. Also, for those of you who don't know me, we call him Mr. Right.
Yes.
That is his pseudonym. I don't say his name, number one, because I want to protect his privacy. He's a bit more of a private person than I am, because obviously I lay it all out there. So A, trying to protect that. B, to keep things sacred.
I love that.
Since nothing is sacred anymore with me.
I love that. And I love Mr. Right because there were many Mr. Wrongs before.
Yes, that. And also, it is a nod to the night that he asked me to be his girlfriend.
Hold on.
Okay,
Backing
sorry.
up. Backing
So much
up.
context.
So there's so much to talk about. Okay. First of all, we need to shout out Too Much.
Oh, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're crushing.
Thank
you guys,
you.
pause this. Go subscribe to Too Much right now on Spotify, on Apple, wherever you are. And then come back and then listen to this episode and then go binge all of Emma's episodes because seriously, like I am obsessed.
Thank
you.
you.
You are such an incredible podcast host and I just I love everything you talk about and the way you approach each topic. So congratulations. You're absolutely crushing it.
Thank you.
Okay. How did you and Mr. Right meet?
Okay. Well, okay. It's a really long story.
That's why we have a podcast. That's why this is a podcast
This is
and not an Instagram video.
Yes. This is the second time I've said this to you today, and my long story became, or my
Short
long story
story
short became a
long
long story. Okay. So this story really, I feel like, fuels a lot of people's delusion because some may say I manifest this. I would say I stalked the shit out of him.
Love.
Okay. So basically, 5 years ago, I was on a bachelorette party in Park City, Utah.
Fun.
And I was definitely the fun invite. I was the wild card. I wasn't in the bridal party. I was
You're the personality invite.
Right.
Personality hire for the batch party.
I was a paid actor, and I was 26 years old. Everyone else was 30, engaged or married and or
Prime,
pregnant.
One of the first batch parties. You're excited.
I think it was my first.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
the best.
Also, I don't ski. I was going on a ski trip, and I was just I just want to fucking après. I don't know how many people have been to Park City, but unless you're at I think it's the Waldorf there or something, the après is what is that called? High West, that bar. It's like a whiskey bar. It's not as bougie as I thought it was going to be. It was much more divey, which was really fun. But I had the outfits. I had onesies and I wasn't going skiing. People were like, oh, wow, you must be really good if you're going to go skiing that. And I'm like, no. This is for Instagram. I had no following at that time, so nothing warranted it. Anyways, one of this bachelorette had a blast, and I met this girl. There are a lot of other details about this, the 4 other men that I made out with during that weekend, which all of the attendees witnessed. But I met this one specific girl who I just thought was so cool. I had a girl crush on her, and obviously we all followed her on Instagram. But afterwards, this is where it gets crazy. I ended up meeting a guy on the trip and then dating him for 9 months.
Oh my God.
And then moving to Seattle for him 3 months later because COVID hit. And so I just moved to Seattle.
Oh my God. Okay, wait, you're not the first person to tell me they met a guy in another city on a bachelorette party and ended up in a long distance relationship with
Really?
them. Yeah. And here's my theory. It's because you're not trying to meet guys. You're truly being yourself and having fun and in your element, and that is the most attractive thing.
And you're there for the bride.
Yeah.
And like everyone just sees the people having fun and they're like, oh, I want to be with that girl. Like she's smiling, she's having a great time. He even told me I live in Seattle and I was like, oh, I'm never going to see you again.
Right.
And was just very much like, I didn't give a shit. I lived in LA at the time. So anyways, right after COVID hit, like this was January 2020, February or March, whatever it was, like this dude is like, oh, he posted on Instagram that he was like golfing in Scottsdale. And I was like, this doesn't look like a quarantine. And he's like, you should come. And I was like, okay. And he was like, what? And then I hopped in my car and I drove from LA to Scottsdale to hang out with a guy that I had never hung out with before. Like never had sex with him, never anything.
Yeah.
We just made out in a bar one time. Could have killed me. But I'm texting everyone in the bachelorette party group. And I'm like, update. Remember the silver hair fox? Like, I'm going to meet him in Scottsdale. Ha ha ha. And they're all like, please share your location. Please don't die. And I was like, got it. Again, I was the young one of the group. So I go out there. I end up staying a month and a half. I packed for 4 days. I started dating this man. I ended up dating him, going up to Seattle for like 3 months. Like came back to swap out my clothes, went up for another 3 months. Anyways, I'm updating this group chat the entire fucking time. And this girl is in it.
The girl you had a girl crush on.
Yeah. And everyone's just like laughing. It was hilarious. I was crazy. I was also like, I'm pretty sure under Stockholm Syndrome and was so miserable with this man, but it looked fun.
Happens.
Yeah. So come Christmas time, so now it's been almost a year since The Bachelorette, she posts, this girl crush girl, she posts on Instagram this story of some guy. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? And she's like, ha ha ha, that's my brother. And I was like, and I couldn't say anything because I was still dating the silver hair fox up in Washington. I was living in Washington with this man.
Oh my God.
And I gave like the side eye emoji. And I was like, just saying, really just want you to be my sister-in-law. Like that was the message.
Oh my God.
And she's like, ha ha ha, let them know someone's watching. Not sure she ever did that. But I stalked her for the next 4.5 years.
Shut up.
Via her stories. Anytime she posted him, she'd be like, oh, the Funkle is here, because she has kids. And I'd be like, Funkle, talk about Hunkle. Like, I was...
You're DMing her that.
Yeah. Like, relentless. No shame. Was just like, I don't give a fuck. I don't know this guy.
What was she responding to that?
Like, ha ha ha. Like, so awkward. She's probably like screenshotting it, like sending it to everyone she knows, being like, this girl wants to wear my brother's skin.
The Bachelorette group chat had another group chat.
100%.
Without you,
Santa.
just with those screenshots.
Correct. So this goes on for like 3 years. I finally am like, all right, I'm going to follow him on Instagram. Oh, by the way, broke up with the other guy. Was in a million other relationships, but I still had my eye on
Funkle.
On Funkle. And Hunkle, on the Hunkle. And so after 3 years, I'm finally like, okay, I'm going to follow him on Instagram. And I throw him a follow because I was moving back to New York. So I was like, okay, like maybe now's my time. I was single. I follow him. He follows me back. I was like, oh, we're going to date now because we followed each other on Instagram. Like that's how it works once you exchange the follow. No such luck. I went another year without speaking to him.
You didn't try and like DM him?
Oh,
or
no.
anything?
Too much pride. Way too much pride. Usually I'm okay with that. Like I love breaking down those barriers of, you know, what a guy should do, what a girl should do. But I would not budge. I was like, I've come this far. I'm going to make this man love me.
Oh my God.
So I follow him. A year goes by. I am in another serious relationship. I end up starting the podcast, my old podcast. And I started dating another guy who was like a 48-year-old man. We call him the old man. And he ended up doing me in my brain, like so dirty. He went to Burning Man and like ghosted me. And it was the Burning Man that had the flood. So I legitimately Googled this man's obituary to see if he died. Because I was like,
oh my God.
You can't be ghosting me. Like, you must have died. And as this is happening, as this spiral is going on and I'm Googling his obituary, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I texted the girl whose bachelorette party it was, so the bride. And I was like, what the fuck do I have to do to get a date with Hunkle. I'm sick of this. Do I have to ask him out myself? That was the text. She's like, ha, 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 do it. And I was like, well, hold up. Did Girl Crush never tell him that I was interested, or did she tell him and he wasn't interested? Mm-hmm. Because if he wasn't interested, then I wasn't gonna do it. I needed like all the information. She was like, let me find out. I was like, okay. The old man texted me. I forgot I'd done any of this. But I woke up the next morning with a DM from Hunkle, and he was like, you can't ask me out. I have to ask you out.
Oh.
Which is really hot, but then I realized he was quoting me in my crazy text. Because I was like, do I have to ask him out myself? I later find out, I basically screenshot that. I sent it to my friend. I was like, what the fuck did you do? She was like, I may have sent the screenshot to the sister, and he received it.
But you know what? You know what? That was the version of the sister showing that you were interested and him saying, okay, I'm also interested. Right. And then that was a fun, crafty message.
Yes.
I like it.
It also showed my true colors.
Yeah.
Like me just grabbing life by the balls. And so he asked me out. We went on our date, and I did confront him about it. I was like, so did you see that text? And he was like, yeah, like, what were you sick of? Like, I didn't
know you existed.
I didn't know you. And I was like, finish your drink. Like, you just, and we've been together ever since.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's been a year and a half. We moved in together 5 months ago, and we will likely be engaged within the year, I'd say.
What was it about him?
I actually recently inquired for Girl Crush, his sister. I can call him Mr. Right Sister now. I inquired with Mr. Right Sister, and I was like, could you go back and see what I responded to? And she sent me the video, and his fucking smile melted me. Like, truly, it, like, I looked at it now and I was like, oh yeah. Like,
it was love at first sight on Instagram.
Truly. Like, wow. I said right then and there, like, I want to marry this guy. I want you to be my sister-in-law. And like, now I am. Which is like bizarre. I mean, like, I know. We're like not engaged yet. I talk like I am engaged, but like, we will.
No, but he's your person.
Yeah. He's my person.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And like, it's really weird because I feel like I have imposter syndrome of like finding a person.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of always, not always been my issue because I've never been happy in a relationship like this. Mm-hmm. But I almost feel like I need to preface to everyone like, oh no, but I've been through a lot of shit. I've been through a lot of bad guys. Mm-hmm. And like, I deserve this now.
What was it about him once you actually were in person with him? Once you're going on dates, like what was it about him that felt maybe different than those not so great relationships you ended up in earlier?
There was no anxiety. Like truly, I would leave his apartment. First of all, I made him wait like 5 dates to have sex. So that was like only a month and a half, but still, I tried to like hold out and like just try to get to know him because I was actually a little unsure about him. I called up my mom. I tell her everything. She's like my best friend. And I was like, I think he might be too nice for me. Because, you know, I'm a little rough around the edges. Like I need someone who can handle me kind of a thing. And she was like, maybe this is what you need. Give him a chance. And I was like, all right. But every time I left his apartment, he would be like, when can I see you again? When's the next time I can see you? And he would like schedule a date right then and there. And the follow-up was so, at first I was like, ew, like you're clingy. But then I was like, oh no, this is what you deserve.
Feels nice.
Yeah. I think something I started to develop as I got older was like, when you think about what you're rejecting, say it out loud and say, I'm not going to see him anymore because he's too nice to me. And how fucking ridiculous that sounds.
Yep.
Like, and if it sounds ridiculous, it's because it is. You know, it's like anytime I've really ever had doubts about him, which is rare, but it's always been something that is so just clear of my past trauma.
Because it feels so unfamiliar.
Right.
To know exactly where you stand, while it feels good, it feels kind of scary. And it also feels like, wait, there's no drama.
Right.
What's going on?
Yeah. And like that something might be wrong. And it's like, I know a lot of people also are like, is there going to be any excitement? Because like, it's always just good. And it's like, there's going to be enough fucking excitement in your own personal life. Like you need a rock. You need someone stable. And that's what I realized with him. And when I've like decided like, okay, you are my person, because like, even with the tumultuous beginning of the year that I've had, I feel like if I was with someone else or maybe alone, I wouldn't have been able to handle the obstacles that I came across if it hadn't been for this like stable person that's just keeping me grounded all the time. And like that's who you want in a partner for the rest of your life.
Oh my God,
like
100%.
Your life is not going to be, you know, fucking rainbows and butterflies. You need someone that will like face the storm with you, not just like add to the rain.
It's crazy thinking about like the people that I chased after and the people who I so badly wanted to be with before I met Jake. It's like, in what world did I think I could pursue or like be in a marriage with these people?
Yeah.
Like, in what world could we have overcome obstacles together or gotten through hard shit when like all I wanted was to feel like secure with these people.
Right.
And if I couldn't even feel that way because of a million different reasons, how could we like build a life together?
Yeah. And like that whole, you know, if he wanted to, he would thing, like that became very clear because I could tell he wanted to because he was, you know, he was doing it. He was doing the things, he was making the plans. And I was like, it was the first time someone really like proved themselves to me. And, you know, he actually also, he's very, very high EQ. How he got the name Mr. Right was because the night he asked me to be his girlfriend, you know, I was sitting there talking about my goals of like, I'm going to be the next fucking Alex Cooper. You watch me. And he said that he was really nervous about that. That was something that like, he doesn't want to be in the spotlight. Yeah. He doesn't want the big, you know, like paparazzis or like being on magazines or anything like that. And he also knows like what that life comes with and the parties and who you're meeting and all that. And so he said to me, I want to make sure that I'm Mr. Right, not Mr. Right Now. And so that's how he got the name Mr. Right. Because I literally had to tell him that I wanted to marry him before he asked me to be his girlfriend. I was like, no, like I see you as a long-term partner. Like, first of all, you're late to the party. I've been stalking you for 5 years.
I've been waiting for this for like a quarter of my life.
I decided 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So like his EQ is very high. And what was I saying that made me say that? Oh,
Mr. Right.
No, so he basically said to me, you know, because I said like, you know, this is kind of the first time someone's making me feel secure. Like all these things are happening. And he was like, well, I just want to make sure I'm not like the first and I want to be like the one that you want to have that with.
Right. Like not like, oh, you'll be with me because I'm making you feel good.
Right.
But like you're going to be with me because you want to be with me.
Exactly.
Not just because I'm being nice to you and treating you the way you should be treated and haven't been in the past.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like we've had like these serious conversations already, and I think that's also why it's like been very reassuring that I know he's my person because like he thinks this way and like, you know, I don't know. I've always been in fight or flight with any guy I've ever been with, and this is the first time it's like I can truly just like focus on myself because I know that like we're solid. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so freeing.
Yeah. It really is. And like it's out there, guys.
It is. Like, it is, and it's worth the 5-year wait.
Yeah.
Having your eye on the
But it's not a wait. It's not a wait. Like you should be doing your life. Yes. And like the taxi light theory is a real thing. And it's not just for them. It is for us too. It's like you all need to just be focusing on yourself. And like in time when you are ready and when they are ready and like it works, that's when it happens. Yeah. Like
absolutely.
I always say like, you know, people are like, are you focusing on yourself right now? Are you dating? Like that's been a question that I've gotten a couple times before him. And I was like, why can't it be both? Number one. And I always peddle this theory that I came up with of like, it's not groundbreaking, but it's something that like I've coined, which is like my 5-box theory. And essentially that is you need to get these 5 boxes in a good place or checked off before you even start dating and consider adding someone else into the equation.
Let's hear them.
And they are friends and family, your relationship with them. So it's like, am I prioritizing time with my friends? Like, do they have a place in my life or are they the vehicle in which I go out and I meet a guy? You know, like, are we having just girl time? And then same thing with your family, whether they're chosen or, you know, blood. It's like, am I good right now with them or do I have family drama? Second is your health and wellness. Like, are you happy with how you're feeling every day when you're waking up in the morning? Are you like hungover all the time or is like your health not in check? You're not working out, you're not feeling good. Because I can't tell you how many times I got into a relationship and like I didn't feel sexy and I wasn't feeling secure and I didn't want to like get naked in front of them. And it was a huge mental block. Then your career, like making sure that you are liking what you're doing. You're not coming home at the end of the day burnt out as fuck and then not able to like give anything else to the person you're with or to yourself. Your hobbies. You must have something that brings you passion outside of work. Mm-hmm. Like you have to, because you just need something to make you happy other than a guy or your job.
Yep.
Like,
or your friends who might get really busy
or
have their own shit going on.
You need to be able to like pick something up on a Saturday if you're by yourself and it brings you joy and it re-energizes you.
Yep.
What am I up to? And then yourself, self-love. Like, gotta fucking love yourself, gotta be able to look in the mirror and like be really secure and happy with yourself, because like when they say things happen when you least expect it, to me it's like that's because you're focusing on yourself and you're not focused. You're over here, you have tunnel vision on like progressing your life and making yourself feel good, that someone's just gonna be like, oh, I want some of that energy.
That's
because,
why
like,
you meet people on a bachelorette party.
Yes, exactly. Literally, yeah. So your entire life should be a bachelorette party, basically. Like,
dear God.
Yeah.
A few different types, maybe like a wellness one this week. Yeah. No, I love that, because I do think it is so important to at least like understand where you're at with these different factors of your life, rather than just going through life and like thinking, okay, like hopefully someone's gonna, knock on my door, throw a rock at my window, like appear, bump into me at the grocery store or whatever. Like, you need to know that you're good on your own, and that you feel, even if you're not 100% in all 5 categories, that you're working towards it, or that you know what you're trying to work on, or okay, maybe there's some family drama it feels like a little bit out of your control, but you're not letting it bring you down, and you're doing what you can. You're having the vulnerable conversations to get to a better place. And the best part is when you meet someone, if one of those things start to falter, you have a support system, but you also don't have to rely on that person to be your everything, because you have all these other aspects of your life.
Or you're also like not worried about, well, if I go focus on this and I'm taking away like some of the focus off of them, like, are they still going to be there?
Right.
It's like making sure that just like you're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Like I used to be the kind of girl that was like, I would disappear whenever I would get into a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
My friends would not see me for 6 months. And like I said earlier about like your friends being a vehicle, like that was something I was thinking about, I think yesterday or today, where it was like, I think that I reserved a lot of my emotional capacity for relationships. And I never really went all in on some of these friendships, because I was just like, oh, well, you're the single friends that I go out with, so we can find guys. Not like, we're going to go out, I'm going to focus on you, I'm going to give you the floor, I'm going to listen to you about your life, and we're going to have heart-to-hearts and connect. And, that's kind of why I would be able to disappear when I got into relationships. And it's like, I don't fucking want that. Like, that's not where I'm at in my life, and that's not the kind of friendships I want to have. I think if you asked me 5 years ago, like, who would be in my wedding party, I'd be like, I don't know. And now it's like, I've gotten to a place where I prioritize these girls, and I'll look at my boyfriend and just be like, no, I'm gonna go have a girls' night tonight. You do you, whatever you want. And it's just like, it makes for a much healthier relationship when you both have your own shit going on. Yeah. And like, your lives can intersect but like still be parallel. And
I think the friendship piece is really interesting, because I can like pinpoint different phases or different chapters of my 20s where like, I did have certain friends who truly like, they were just my fun friends, and they were the friends I would go out with when I wanted to meet a guy, right? But they weren't the friends I was like bearing all to and like traveling with and like truly getting to know like on that deep personal level. And like, as my 20s progressed, as I, figured out more who I was or who I wanted to be, who I wanted to work towards, and like became a better version of myself, like those friendships fizzled out. And that makes sense. Yeah. And I think recognizing like, okay, here are the people that like truly matter to me the most. Here are the people that like, it's fun and chill to like do a workout class and get lunch with them every once in a while. And here are the people like, if I want to be silly and like go do karaoke with, like, great. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but it's recognizing that, because otherwise it can cause so much anxiety of like, why are they not giving me the time of day? It's like, wait a second, you're not giving them the time of day either, because they're just your fun friend.
Also, it's like, sometimes if you just have misaligned values and certain things, it's like, at least what I used to do is I would try to fit them into a box. I would get mad at them if they didn't have these same values that I had. Like if they didn't want to stay out until 2:00 in the morning, or if they, were showing up late to things. It's like getting older is realizing that like people are different.
People change.
Not everyone's like you. And like some people are your flaky friends.
Yeah.
And as long as you don't put as much energy and effort into those people, like that's okay. Fucking let them be them.
Yeah.
Like you just don't need to pour your energy into them. So it is good to have like the party friends and like the travel friends. I think that's important when you get older, just because, like you can't give your all to everyone, because then there's gonna be nothing left for you, nothing left for your friends that deserve it, and nothing left for your partner when and if you have one.
I want to talk about this concept of being too much.
Oh,
because as we're talking about different friends, it's coming up for me where like I know that I've had different friendships and different friend groups from like high school, college, 20s, now in my 30s, where like there have been times where I'm like, I feel like if these people were all gonna talk shit about me or like talk about me when I'm not there, like I remember feeling like in my early 20s, like this group of people probably like if they're gonna say anything about me, they're probably gonna say like I'm a lot or I'm too much.
Yep. I always, before my podcast phase of my life, I always wanted to write a book or like a coffee table book or something, and it was going to be called I'm a Lot. And I think, I'm a hard pill to swallow sometimes for people. Like I come in hot, and it's because like I am confident with myself, and that's always just how I've been. It's not like I'm trying to put on a show. But I guess like, where the name came from for my podcast is essentially like, I've gotten to a place in my life where I've unlocked so much more of my happiness and unlocked different phases of my life when I was authentically myself than I ever have when I was trying to be someone else. And that's for relationships, for careers, for friendships. And I kind of just got to a point where like there's fucking 8 billion people in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, is that just America? No, that's the world. There's 8 billion people in the world.
I think. How many people are in the world? It was estimated to have exceeded 8 billion in November 2022. What, we don't have an update in 3 years?
Jesus.
What do you mean?
Okay, so we're going to go to 9 billion. There are 9 billion people in the world. If you don't like me, that is just fucking fine. Like and I've also like been so in and out of relationships, in and out of friendships that like I've had to kind of develop that. I talk about this a lot on my podcast, is like my hyper independence. And that's really come from, being let down by people, having people leave me. And it's like so multifaceted as to like why the people left. I'm not just like blaming it on them, being like, everyone abandoned me, because that's obviously not true. I was probably a little difficult. I know I was a little difficult back in the day. It was definitely multifaceted. There were obviously a lot of reasons that all these things happened. It wasn't like, I'm just like, oh, everyone abandoned me. I do take responsibility and accountability for all of that. But
regardless, you felt abandoned in the moment.
So I developed this hyper independence, which has made me have to become okay being on my own and being independent.
And liking yourself and validating yourself.
Well, that like came after it, because I spent so much time just alone and like going on walks. And, when I moved to LA, I was only 22 years old. I didn't have any friends there. And I would just like go on dates, and I would go and like, go on walks and whatever. But it's really interesting because, they say like you got to look yourself in the mirror and face yourself and that kind of a thing. But there's only so much that can happen like right here. There's only so much you can learn about yourself just looking introspectively. And I think that's why it's so important to date a lot and meet a lot of people and have a lot of friends, because effectively people are mirrors. And they say like, the best partner you have is going to be a mirror and is going to show you. But like the thing that makes a person different than a mirror is that a person can talk back, and a person will sit there and challenge your flaws and also like either like applaud your good qualities or they might not align with them, but like it's something that's talking back to you. Yeah. So the more relationships you have, the more people you date, the more you're like looking at yourself and being like, okay, like this is a pattern. Why is this a pattern? And I think I shed a lot of things because I noticed these patterns. I shed some of my control issues that I had. Like I felt like I needed to control everything. That comes from my hyperindependence and my perfectionism. I don't even have a therapist. This is literally just all from like the podcast and like from doing research and writing shit down. But, you know, I've shed some things, but the thing that I will not shed is my authenticity and like being unapologetically myself, because like I actually really like who I am now. And it took me a long time to get there because I shed this stuff that, you know, got in the way of relationships before. But now it's like I have a really fucking big heart and I like attention. I like to dress up when everyone else is not. Like, I will go places and it's like, yeah, we're going to a bar for fucking St. Patrick's Day and people are in leggings and like, I'm going to be in a wide leg jean with a booty and a jacket. And like, you know, because I like that because it makes me feel good.
This has been something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Actually, I'm so glad you brought this up because I go to Equinox and I have been for a while now a girl who loves like a matching workout set.
Yes.
I love cute workout clothes. And
Makes you want to work out.
Yeah, exactly. I somehow have gotten onto the side of TikTok where I'm seeing girls talking about like being too intimidated to go to a certain like type of workout studio or a workout class or a gym like Equinox because they don't wear matching sets. They don't want to be judged for that. And I've been thinking about this and I really want to make a video about it and like talk about this. So this is why this is coming up for me, where I wear matching sets and like cute workout clothes because that's what gets me to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Not once have I ever looked around and been like, that person's not wearing a matching set. If anything, I'm like, people are probably judging me for wearing a matching set.
Yep.
Like, I see the people who are wearing like a random like t-shirt from a random thing and I'm like, oh, I wish I could come to the gym in just a random t-shirt. Like,
or I just don't even fucking think about it.
Yeah.
Because no one actually thinks about it as much as you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And like, I do things because it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Because like, again, I had to spend a lot of time alone where I was the only person that could make me feel good.
Yeah.
So like, these are all the things that I have decided make me feel good. I'm gonna fucking do them whether you like it or not. And if you don't, just keep on going.
Right.
I don't need you.
Yeah.
Like
doing what makes you happy.
Yeah, exactly. And then also with the name twofold, when I started dating Mr. Right, I think on like our, I don't know, 5th or 6th date, he said to me, you know, my sister said that you might be too much for me. And I said, I had a couple of martinis. We were at Arthur and Sons, and I was like, well, you know what? If I'm too much for you, I'm going to be just right for somebody else. So
drops mic.
literally, I was just like, so you can fuck off. Like, I don't care. And I think he fell in love with me in that moment. But like, so that's also where the name of the podcast came from, like because she said that, because it's always been a thing in our relationship. And then also when I was trying to come up with the name, I went onto TikTok and the first video I saw was this girl quoting the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland. And he said, Alice, like you've lost your muchness. You used to be much muchier. And that's something that like I always try to say. It's like, don't lose that. Like, do not let anyone dim you, because you're only dimming yourself to make them feel more comfortable.
100%.
Because like if they're not comfortable with themselves and can't let your freak flag fly, that is a them problem. That is not a you problem. If someone sits there and says you're too much, that's because they're insecure about people who talk too much or people who are too loud. It's not that, like, the word too is subjective. Like, that is based on how it makes you feel. The person saying it. That has nothing to do with me.
And it doesn't mean you're a bad person, they're a good person, they're a good person, you're a bad whatever. It doesn't say anything about each person. It just says you guys aren't for each other.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, 9 billion roughly people in the world.
Doesn't matter.
Let's say you're a girl trying to date a guy. All right, let's cut that in half.
Yep.
There are 4.5 roughly billion men in the world. If it's not vibing with someone,
it will with someone else.
It will with someone else.
Yep.
100%.
And now with apps and social media, you can find someone fucking Abu Dhabi and go move to Abu Dhabi with them if you want. Like, you're not limited to your city anymore. Yeah. Like, if you're feeling limited, pack up and leave. Like, you just, like, we are all we have. And you have to just, like, move your course, change course, make choices based on what's going to make you happy. And, like, no one else matters.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, no one else matters.
Yeah. Period. Okay. We have listener questions to get to.
Fuck yeah.
I knew this is what was going to happen. I mean, there's so much for us
I could go on forever.
We're first of many. I love this. Okay. Let's do...
Is my face so red?
No.
Okay, I feel my face feels very hot.
Oh, okay. You're perfect.
The rest of my body's
why
fine.
The AC is bumping.
Okay.
It's not really working very well, but it's on. Okay.
The rest of my body's not hot.
I'm in my late 20s and I'm going through a friendship breakup that honestly hurts more than any romantic one I've ever had. My best friend and I were inseparable for almost a decade. We traveled together, were in each other's weddings, and talked daily. But over the past year, I started feeling like our friendship was one-sided. I was always the one making plans, checking in, and supporting her through everything, but when I needed her, I felt like she was distant or dismissive. Things finally came to a head when I brought it up, and she got really defensive, saying I was being too sensitive and keeping score. I didn't want to end things, but after that conversation, she basically ghosted me. It's been a few months now, and I still feel a huge hole in my life. I don't know whether I should reach out or just accept that we've grown apart. How do I grieve this friendship without constantly wondering if I should have done more to fix it?
Well, I just did an episode on friendship breakups, so this is all very fresh in my mind. Number one, I'm going to start off with a quote. People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Those are the three separate buckets, and categorizing someone in that really helps with the grieving process. This girl, I'm going to say it sounds like a season and a reason. Yeah. Romantic breakups are a lot harder. I'm sorry. Friendship breakups are a lot harder than romantic breakups. Yeah. You know, they're solely built on emotional connection, and, you know, there's no sex involved typically. So unless there's like a bored Friday night. But like you can't just get over someone by getting under someone like you can with a boyfriend or a partner or whatever.
It feels way more personal.
Yes, exactly. Because they're just like, I don't want to be friends with you. But like, if you are just being authentic and being yourself and you have not, you know, committed betrayal by any means or whatever, like it sounds this girl hasn't, like, that's not your fault and it's not your problem. And like, you guys did grow apart. Like, your values have changed, whatever that may be for her. I mean, this has happened to me before, like, I want to say 3 or 4 times where I've been ghosted by a best friend. And like, it's fucking heartbreaking because it's like your heart is broken. You would call her, but like now you can't. And it's really difficult, but like, you just need to focus on the people who are in your life and supporting you and are currently around you, because like those are the only people that matter now. Because if she wants to step away, like that's her loss. And like, I know it's all easier said than done. It's all easier said than done. But like, time heals all, which is a cliche, but it's so fucking true. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, those are the only ways to grieve it, is like to accept it, understand you didn't do anything wrong. And like, I personally wouldn't reach back out. I think this is like on her to reach back out if she's the one ghosting. Like, you don't want to sit there and tell someone how you deserve to be loved or cared for. And you also don't want to like chase someone down to explain to them why you deserve that. If she doesn't see that and recognize your value, then like, again, that's her problem. Like, you have done nothing wrong. You are a good friend and she can't see that. So why do you want her as a friend in the first place?
Yeah. And if she does end up coming back and being like, hey, let's talk, you 1,000,000% need to tell her how you've been feeling.
Yeah. I would give her the floor. I wouldn't ignore her. Like,
of course,
you know, two ghosts don't bring anyone back to life. For sure. Just came up with that one. That was pretty good. But like, you know, I actually just had, so I had a friendship breakup when I was like 26, and she just came back into my life 3 weeks ago. And it, like, we were both here. I moved to LA, then she moved to LA, and we were friends. And then we broke up there. And then I moved back here 3 years ago, and she just got back here 3 months ago. Okay. So like, now we're both in the same city again, and she reached out and she's had 2 kids since. She's gotten married, and like, I was really weary, but like, she was truly one of my best friends that I was just like, I know I have changed and I know that I had my faults back then. So like, she deserves the same grace and courtesy.
Was it a hard breakup or was it a fizzle?
It was a hard breakup. It was something that I like seemingly had done, but like, to me, the punishment did not the crime did not warrant the punishment. Yeah, like, it was something work related. It warranted a fight, but not a friendship breakup in my mind. But we got together and we got coffee, and it was like baby steps. It was like, dating, and we got coffee. We didn't talk about it. Then I saw her again, and we didn't talk about it. And then finally we had dinner, and I was like, so we can talk about us? And she was like, I don't think there's anything to say. And I was like, I do. So we like got into it, and I, I took accountability for my shortcomings back then. And I explained how I've changed. I did kind of let her like apologize first. But we both had something to apologize for. And I think that only came with that time and maturity and the growth. Like, I don't think we would have gotten to that clear understanding and like amicable conversation back then.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes it does just take time. And like, you know, it's the taxi light thing is like true in every aspect of life, honestly. And like, this could just not be this girl and her friend's time. And, you know, she could be going through some shit. And like, I hate to say it, but, you know, I don't hate to say it. This is true. Friendships end for 3 reasons: misaligned values, jealousy, and growth. Those are the 3 reasons. And you can categorize literally any friendship breakup under those 3 buckets. And this one, like, could be jealousy. You don't know.
Yeah.
Like, there could be something that like you do that good for you. Could be like your job, could be like your hair, and it drives her crazy. You know, like these things don't really, unless this girl is secure enough in herself to explain that,
right,
then you're never gonna know. So you kind of just have to like reason, season, lifetime, misaligned values, growth, or jealousy. It's like a little fucking Venn diagram. And like, if you just make it black and white for yourself, you know?
Yeah. And here's the thing, like, if it's not right regardless, like, for her to be ghosting.
Right.
Like,
no,
that's
ever.
the thing. Like, and if, let's say she is really jealous, like, okay, that's for her to deal with.
Yeah.
And either compartmentalize or share. Like, I have had one of my best friends, like, I have expressed to her that, like, it is hard for me sometimes. Like, I am jealous of various things in her life.
Right.
And I expressed that to her, not to, you know, make her feel shitty about it, but because I didn't want it to start like growing to be resentment.
Right.
I was like, yeah, like sometimes it is hard for me to like look at this thing that, you know, you have, or the way this, you know, appears, because I want that and I
Right.
feel very far from that. And so I am jealous. Like I want to be in your position and I'm not, and I don't know like if when I will be. And so that is hard for me, but like I'm so happy for you and I'm so proud of you, and I don't want you to not talk to me about it.
Yeah.
Just because like I'm not in that place and I want to be. Like I just need to share that so you know like how I feel, because I
Right.
value our friendship.
And that's maturity.
That's maturity. It's not an easy
Yeah.
conversation to
No,
have.
it's
No one
not.
wants to be jealous.
Yeah, but like that's how you know that a friend is a good friend. Like
Yeah.
if they're willing to come forward like you did, and like say something like that. I have a friend that I have to have a hard conversation with, because like I've heard certain things like from other people, and I'm like, had I not care about her? Do I not care about her? If I didn't, Jesus
If you didn't
fuck.
care about her.
If I didn't care, sorry,
Brains are hard.
If I didn't care about her, I would just step away.
Yeah.
And not necessarily ghost, but I would lovingly distance myself. But because I care so much, I am going to say something because I want to salvage our friendship.
Yeah.
And like, this girl didn't do that. Like, yes, that is fucked up to ghost. Like, it is not, someone should have the decency to just say to you, like, I don't jive with this.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, maybe something about your life does make me really jealous and I need to go figure my shit out first and then we can revisit. Or like, it's just be a fucking adult.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's where with this listener's question, it's like, how can I like something about like not trying harder to fix it at the end? It was, how do I grieve this friendship without constantly wondering if I should have done more to fix it? Like you've tried.
Yeah.
You've extended olive branches. You have tried to check in and make plans and support her. And when you needed her, she didn't show up for you. And so like you've done all, like if you go through the good friend checklist, like you've done that.
yeah.
So you did try. And it's unfortunate to not have that reciprocated, but you have done nothing wrong in this friendship. And that's
Well, I think that's
unfortunately
where like
the hardest part.
Yeah. That's like where the ghosting
Yeah.
comes into play, because it's like if you have no reason
Right. It's like, why?
to identify,
Like, what?
you're gonna
Yeah.
like do self-negative talk
Yeah.
and self-blame, and you're just gonna be like, well, what did I do? And like, you know,
It's
that's with
hard.
all the
It's
friendship
so
breakups
hard.
I've been through. Like that's what I did too, and I was really hard on myself. And like, it's just like sometimes the best way to get through something is to just understand that like you might not know,
Yeah.
and you might never know, and like you have to like bury it, have a little funeral for it in your mind, and just move on, because like you got to create space for people who are gonna value you back, and like realize that this person is not a good friend for doing this to you.
Yeah.
Like maybe she's got shit going on, but like she's got to come and tell you. And until then, she's a shitty friend.
Boom.
Boom.
Okay. Let's do one more. Okay. Hi, Alana. I hope you're having a good night. Thank you. I am. I wanted to ask if you have any podcast episodes about how to talk to a friend or family member about whether or not they truly want to get married. My sister, who I'm close with, is planning to get married this June. However, she's been so up and down in her relationship and has almost broken up with her fiancé multiple times. Since we're really close, she's only told my mom and I about this, but other family members can also tell she isn't happy. I also grabbed coffee with one of her friends recently, and even her friend brought up that she didn't think my sister was happy in her relationship. Her wedding's going to be really small, but she's hardly shared any details with us and hasn't been dress shopping yet. I want to support her in every way, but I don't know how to be there for her when she doesn't leave this relationship. Wow. Okay. So for context, this is March. The wedding is March, April, May, June, in 3 months, and she hasn't gone dress shopping yet.
We must act fast.
I don't know how that's
we
even
must
possible.
give it
But I guess small wedding, like different, like
yeah, like you might not have to get all the alterations. We're like, you need 12 months. You literally need. There's like so many fittings.
This is tough.
Do you have sisters?
I don't.
Okay,
but I have friends who are like sisters to me.
Yeah,
but I know it's different.
Or even just like, I was just curious. 'Cause I
you
know nothing
have
about
a
you.
sister.
Yes, I have 2 sisters.
You have 2 sisters.
But regardless, I think this goes for friends too. You gotta fucking tell her.
Yeah.
Like you have to. I think it's more of like, hey, hi. I like my gut is telling me that something is off here, and I will support anything you do. But I just want to let you know that it is okay to walk away.
Yeah.
And like, we will all be there for you. No one will judge you. Like, you need to think about your future and if you are going to be happy or not. Like, do you see yourself growing old with this person? Like, don't do it because you think you're letting other people down.
Yeah.
You know,
huge.
Like,
huge.
I like, for life experience context, there were like relationships that I stayed in because I didn't want another failed relationship, because I had been in so many relationships and I had so many exes, and like that's like what everyone makes fun of me for, is like, oh, another relationship. So I stayed in relationships because I was like, well, I have to prove that I'm lovable, and I have to prove that I can do this, and I have to prove that someone will want to marry me. And like, that's so not okay because like I was putting myself in situations that were like toxic.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know what's going through your sister's head, and like, no one knows what's going on behind closed doors, but like, I think you just need to approach her and just be like, this is a safe space.
Yeah.
I will literally be over the moon for you if you decide to go through with this, or I will like start up the getaway car and like, you know, fucking go clear out your house for you.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. I think leading with like, I love you and I want you to be happy and I support you no matter what. And it's like, here are the options. And you can even lay them out for her. And it's like, you can walk away right now and life will go on and you'll be okay and we'll handle the logistics.
Yeah.
And no one's going to be mad at you. You can try and get married. And if it works out, amazing.
Yeah.
You can try and get married. And if it doesn't work out,
you get divorced.
We're still going to be here for you and we will support you and hold your hand every step of the way. And I think, you know, if her friends are concerned, if you're concerned, if your mom's concerned, like if you can see that she's not happy, it's such a hard thing to do to approach someone, because also you don't want to like put doubt in her head,
right?
But you know that doubt's already there.
There's also no worse feeling than when it does come crashing down and everyone's like, well, yeah, we didn't have a good feeling about it,
right? Because like, then she's like, well, why didn't you tell me?
Why didn't you tell? Like, you got, someone's got to say it. Like, you just have to be like, I would be remiss if I did not say something. Like, I would kick myself if I didn't say something. So here it is.
I love you, and that's why I want to bring this up.
Like, I think just like the duty of a woman, I feel like I would do that to a stranger. Just be like, my female instincts are going off right now. And like, I need to let you know. Like, it's hard, but like, I think as long as you're not bashing him, like you're not saying anything bad about him in a sense of like, where she's gonna feel like she has to defend him.
Right. It's not that he's doing something to make her unhappy. Yeah. It's that you feel like she's not happy.
Yes.
And maybe she wants to talk about it. Maybe this is probably keeping her up at night.
Yeah.
And she's probably afraid to talk about it because she doesn't want to like put those thoughts into someone else's head. That's why I think think about if you were in this situation where so I was in this situation to a way lesser extent, way lesser extent. But I went from, my friend saying like, Alana, like we've never seen you so happy. And this was in the beginning of a relationship. So a few months later, my friends did approach me and say, Alana, like we're concerned. Like we've never seen you so unhappy.
Oh, wow.
And I wasn't in the place where I was ready to accept that.
Yeah.
And like I did push them all away because of it. But they were patient and understanding. And when I did crash and burn and break, they were there for me. And they said, we'll be here for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so grateful that they were. And so, you know, I think reassuring your sister that you support her.
Yeah.
Because like that's the best thing that you can do.
And I think like just like at least you tried kind of a thing. Like it does go a long way, and likely she's gonna reject this. Like that is a very likely thing, and you just kind of need to go into it expecting that, because like people need to learn on their own. Yeah. Like everyone told me I should break up with every boyfriend I've ever been with, and I didn't do it.
It had to happen on your timeline.
Yeah. I'm not someone who like takes direction very well.
Yeah.
So like when anytime anyone would say something like when I was living up in Seattle and so miserable with this guy, people were like, maybe just go back to LA for a little bit. Like maybe like one of my best friends was just like, you are calling me crying every single day. Like that's not okay. Yeah. And I'd be like, I was like, I just wanted to make it work. I want to make it work. Yeah.
So it has to work.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So like that, you know, you never know what's going through her head. Yeah. So I would definitely.
You could also approach it of like, I love you. This wedding's 3 months away. We need to go dress shopping. If you don't want to do that, let's talk about why.
Yes. Like, is there a reason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just be like, I love you. I love you. I'm here.
Every other sentence.
Yeah.
Want to go dress shopping? I love you. Do you want to talk about this? I love you.
Yeah. It's hard though. That's a really tough position for everyone involved.
And I think also down the road, if something does go wrong, don't say I told you so.
Yeah.
Just be there.
Yeah.
Be there for her.
You want her to be happy.
Yeah.
Period. That's the goal here.
Oh, God, that's rough. I actually do know someone that got married because she felt like she had to, because there was so much riding on the wedding, and they got divorced 3 months later.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I haven't personally had those experiences, but a few of my friends have started to have those experiences where like they've been to weddings in the last year or two and the couple's already divorced.
Yeah. I didn't know her at this time because I would have said something had I been there. But yeah, like, oh God, it's a lot of money to get divorced. It's a lot of money to have a wedding.
Yep.
Like, but also at the same time, to me at least, I don't know what religion you are, I don't know what your family beliefs are, but divorces are okay.
Yeah.
51% of couples get divorced. I think that's the number.
Mm-hmm.
Statistically.
Which is, we don't want that, but,
yeah.
it's reality.
But if she has
to.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Okay.
That's rough.
Emma, what is the best piece of dating or relationship advice you have ever received or have to give?
Oh, wow. Well, I think it's like, if you're too much for someone, you'll be just right for someone else. Like, I think that is the best advice I can give. It's the advice I give every single day. I mean, I have friends that are like, one time this girl went on a date that I know, and she told me afterwards, and she was like, but I think I like showed my crazy too much. And I was like, what'd you do? And she was like, well, I showed him the pictures I took of what I'm packing to go to Morocco and told him about it. And I was like, that's adorable. Yeah. Like, you're just being you. Yeah. Like, you can't do or say the wrong thing to the right person.
I agree.
Can't. Like, and if they don't agree with it, then they don't agree with you. And fucking go find someone that will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or let them find you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or see them on an Instagram story.
Yes.
And
stalk the shit out of them.
For 5 years.
I put in the work, people. I deserve this.
You did. I'm so happy for you. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
You for having
Where
me.
Can everyone find you and Too Much?
On Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, it's Emma's Too Much is the handle. On Spotify, it's just Too Much by Emma Paige. You'll see me with my leg up in the air. That's my cover art. Yeah, I think that's it.
Amazing.
Right? Those are the only handles you give? Right? This is my first time solo guesting on someone's podcast, by the way.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I've only gone on to one other podcast ever, and that was with my old co-host.
Oh, my God.
So,
well, you did great. You crushed
Thanks for having me. This has been so great.
Thank you for coming.
And also, I'll be having Alana on my podcast in, I don't know when we're airing this, but soon.
I'm very excited.
Be on the lookout.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay. Amazing. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.